Hello friends, in this video we will discuss about different type of hormone receptors and also differences in between agonist and antagonist. And hormones or ligand are secreted from endocrine gland, and after then they are carried by blood or lymph and ultimately reach into the target cell. And in target cell, the specific receptor are present for specific type of hormone, and after binding with this receptor, the hormone causes some changes in the target cell so that this target cell will respond according to this hormone. Then hormone released from endocrine gland and then reaches into the target cell, and in target cell the receptors are present. After binding with receptor, the receptor ligand complex is formed. Then this is receptor and ligand complex, and we will see differences in between a ligand and a hormone, and here we consider this ligand as hormone. Right now, some changes occur in target cell which is called post receptor binding event. After binding of this ligand into this receptor, some changes can be seen in this target cell, and this changes is called as post receptor binding event. Then this post receptor binding event is a chemical event which leads to cellular response. Cellular response means secretion, contraction of the muscles, etc. Right? And these chemicals are two type, usually agonist and antagonist. This ligand are two type, agonist and antagonist. Right? So after formation of receptor ligand complex, if response develop in the target cell, then the ligand is called as agonist. And after formation of receptor ligand complex, if no response develop, then the ligand is known as antagonist. Now we will see example of this agonist and antagonist. Adrenaline, which is also a hormone, so hormone can be considered as agonist when bind with beta 1 receptor and increase heart rate. So this increasing heart rate is a response. Then the adrenaline, which is a type of ligand which is called as agonist, because after binding of the beta 1 receptor of heart, then the response can be seen in heart, that is increased heart rate is response of this heart. Then this adrenaline is known as agonist. Ligand can be called as antagonist when no response can be developed. Actually, ligand occupy receptor, so no agonist can bind with this receptor. Atenolol binds with beta 1 receptor. So atenolol is a kind of chemical which binds with beta 1 receptor and block the receptor, so adrenaline cannot bind with it. Then this atenolol is an example of antagonist. Then the ligand are those chemicals which can bind with the receptor, and this ligand may be agonist and antagonist. Okay, now we will see the differences in between hormone and ligand. Hormone is original chemical signal and also called as the first messenger, and here adrenaline is a agonist and which is also known as hormone. And the ligand, the chemical which can combine with receptor, may be hormone or a drug molecule. Similar to hormone, adrenaline and the atenolol for the beta 1 receptor are example of ligand. Right? Then the ligand may be agonist or antagonist. We'll see different type of receptor. The receptor are usually two type, the membrane bound receptor and the mobile receptor. Membrane bound receptor usually present in the cell membrane, and the ligand directly binds with this membrane bound receptor. This membrane bound receptor again are two types, G protein coupled receptor and non G protein receptor. And the receptor which require G protein for its activation are known as G protein coupled receptor. And there are present some receptor which is present in the plasma membrane, and the activation of this receptor do not require any G protein. An example of this non-G protein coupled receptor, so the ligand which can act via this non-G protein coupled receptor are insulin, atrial natriuretic factor, gamma aminobutyric acid, IGF and the EGF. So this type of ligand acts via non-G protein coupled receptor, and this non-G protein coupled receptor are membrane bound receptor. And the G protein coupled receptor are again two type, the group A hormone and the group B hormone. And the group A hormone have the catalytic unit is adenylate cyclase, that is when hormone binds with this receptor, then this receptor activate G protein, and this G protein activate an enzyme which is known as adenylyl cyclase, and this adenylyl cyclase enzyme are also present in the plasma membrane, and this active adenylate cyclase activate the second messenger like the SCAMP. And the hormone which are called as group A hormone are known as noradrenaline, adrenaline, adrenocorticotropic hormone or ACTH, LH hormone, FSH hormone, GnRH hormone, human chorionic gonadotropin, and the thyroid stimulating hormone. So these all types of hormone are example of group A hormone, and which acts via adenylate cyclase. And the group B hormone, and here the catalytic unit is phospholipase C. That means the G protein coupled receptor not activate adenylate cyclase, but it activate another type of enzyme which is known as phospholipase C. And this phospholipase C is also present in plasma membrane. And this phospholipase C then activate the second messenger like IP3 or the inositol 1,4,5 triphosphate diacylglycerol and the calcium. The hormone which acts via phospholipase C are vasopressin, angiotensin 2 and oxytocin. So these two important hormones are grouped under group B hormone. And another type of receptor are called as mobile receptor, and these mobile receptor are present in cytoplasm or nucleus. The cytosolic mobile receptor can be found for hormone progesterone, androgen and the adrenal steroid. Remember, the hormone or usually many steroid hormone can crosses the plasma membrane and then they directly binds with this mobile receptor, and here the progesterone, androgen and the adrenal steroid binds with cytosolic receptor, but estrogen and the thyroid hormone binds with nuclear receptor, and this mobile receptor are present inside nucleus. As a rule, amino acid derivative and the peptide hormone interact with membrane bound receptor, and the steroid hormone, thyroid hormone, vitamin D, vitamin A acts via mobile receptor, right? So this is actually the different type of receptor and the differences in between agonist and antagonist, and what is ligand, what is hormone. And in the next video we will discuss about the G protein coupled receptor, and also we will discuss the different type of receptor and how this receptor can be activated by binding with ligand. Thank you, and that's it.